Good morning and welcome to another WorkSource Spokane training module. My name is Tyler Wright. I'm the Digital Skills Instructor here at WorkSource Spokane, and I'm being joined by Brandi Maynard, one of our other instructors as part of our workshop and assessment team. Now, Brandi's also partnered with the Spokane Community Colleges, and we wanted to talk a little bit this morning about creating good habits. And one of the things that I see quite frequently as I walk around the facility is I see a lot of job seekers that almost seem like they're a little bit lost in what they're doing. So we kind of want to talk about creating good, healthy habits, especially when it comes to the job seeking process. Brandi, what are your thoughts?
And it's really about reverse engineering your life and your goals and thinking really about what it is that you want to create. What is that final process or that final product that you want out of your building up toward these habits? And so for most job seekers, like Lisa, the one that I'm about to talk about, it's about finding a job. And so Lisa wanted to improve her job search process, but it was so hard for her to maintain those consistent, effective habits. And she realized that without a solid routine, her efforts were sporadic and unproductive, leading to very few job leads, which was difficult for her. So she adopted the principles from Atomic Habits, starting with small, incremental changes, and updated her resume for 15 minutes a day, which gradually built up to a set of strong, productive habits that greatly enhanced her job search process.
So by changing things in small increments, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, what we're really kind of describing is a way to kind of build up towards those bigger gains. So, and I'm not a gym guy by any means, but I'm kind of take a fitness aspect to this. This is kind of like physical fitness in a way. You don't go out and just start running marathons. You start small by running to the local grocery store or something like that. When we're creating these tiny steps, these tiny little increments, what is the best method that you know of to kind of reinforce that?
It's really to focus on those small, sustainable improvements. So not thinking that you have to come in and conquer the world, but know that you can make teeny steps, and those steps are going to have big wins for you. So maybe adding 10 minutes to your job search time, or maybe attending one networking event each month. So just adding something small that's going to get you to that goal, that intentional goal that you set for yourself. And those insignificant switches that you make in your life are going to compound over time, and they're going to lead to massive progress.
Now that sounds like a pretty easy thing to do. Just focus 10 minutes here or 15 minutes there. But the big thing that I'm hearing with that is the focus aspect, the conscious choice. How do we turn this into a habit, something that's more muscle memory?
Yeah, so to achieve those goals, you need to start by creating a habit that you know that you want to reach. So finding deep inside of yourself is, what's your why? Why do you want to reach that habit? Why, as a job seeker, do you want to find that job, that ultimate job, the goal that you're really striving for? And then once you do that, then you can identify those key activities that are going to get you from point A to point B. Again, it's that reverse engineering. What's going to help you to reach that goal? So if regular networking is important for getting those job opportunities, which we know as job coaches that really those job opportunities come from that networking, then making sure that we break down that networking into manageable steps. So maybe spending 10 minutes each morning reaching out to a new contact on LinkedIn, or maybe sending a follow-up message to somebody that we recently met. So making sure that we're taking those small intentional steps to reach the bigger goal.
I really like that idea of using those small increments to build towards those bigger goals. But one of the things that I run into frequently, and you can see it just sitting here in my laboratory, I have a lot of different things that distract me.
Yes.
So what do you suggest is the best way to help me focus on these little increments when I have so much to do?
You really have to master your environment. You need to make sure that you've created a decluttered environment that you can work from. So if you need to work on your resume, make sure that you have a space on your computer, your resume's in a spot that you know where it is. Maybe you have a printer next to you and you've printed off a copy, that you have that ready to go, and you have things in an orderly fashion. And sometimes it means going into your environment and clearing out the clutter before you even start this job search process. Maybe that's part of your success as a habit stacker.
That makes a lot of sense. I do a lot of projects, of course, and there is something that I do kind of do as a habit. When I finish one project, I completely clean everything up from that project, all the paint, all the towels, and everything else, before I allow myself to start on a next project. Unfortunately, that hasn't worked out very well for me, but I get the idea behind it. Brandi, I'd like to ask you a little bit more of and I guess this would be more of a philosophical question. Why do we need good habits?
Habits are forever, and they help us to move from point A to point B. And when we set those good habits, we can decide the life that we want to take and the trajectory that we want to take on that life. We can develop positive habits to set ourselves on a path of continuous improvement and achievement, just to make sure that when we build these habits, they're going to stay with us forever. So we want to make sure we're building the right habits, we're building good habits, and we're cultivating them wisely to ensure a lifetime of success and fulfillment.
Now, as we get finished up here this morning, tell me a little bit more about the compounding effect.
So glad that you asked about that, Tyler, because the compounding effect is one of the most powerful principles of achieving success. So small, consistent actions, when you repeat them over time, lead to those significant results. It's kind of like having a bank account where you're saving money, and then those daily efforts of putting money into that and building those positive habits will increase and exponentially grow over time. So by focusing on those incremental improvements and maintaining that consistent effort, you're able to leverage the compounding effect to achieve extraordinary outcomes far beyond your initial expectations.
You're bringing back memories from the old finance classes with compounding interest. Do I take the 2 pennies now or the $10 or whatever that means?
That's right.
Well, that just about wraps up all the questions that I had for this morning. Once again, Brandi, I want to thank you for joining me here and talking about how to create good, effective habits. For those of you that are listening out there, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next session.